My nephew stole my son's birthday gift. While everyone laughed and told me not to make a scene, so I took the keys to the car I bought him last year and drove it home, telling them it was mine now. Before I go deeper, I should back up. I'm Nate, 36, project estimator for a commercial HVAC company in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 2-bedroom rental, $1,280 a month. Black, 2015 Camry with a dent by the rear wheel and a bad habit of checking my bank app before bed. I'm the quiet helper. I'm the guy who shows up early to set up chairs and stays late to fold the tables. I'm the one who fronts money just until Friday. I'm the guy who figures out the split on Venmo when nobody else can do math after sangria. The golden child is my sister Bree. She's 33, single mom, big eyelashes, bigger opinions. 2 examples so you get the picture. When she rear-ended a mailbox in high school, mom called it senioritis. When I scraped a mirror on dad's truck at 19, he took my Camry keys for a month because I didn't respect property. When Bri forgot to pay her utility bill last year, dad sent her $350 and a smile. When I mentioned I was short on cash after my kid's ER visit, mom said, budget better. Anyway, this story is about one birthday party, a phone, a bill, and a boundary I should have set years ago. And yes, there's a receipt. Keep reading the hook. The phone went to the wrong kid, and the room laughed like that was normal. We did the party at Sky Zone because my son Leo is obsessed with trampolines and orange socks. I put the deposit on my Discover card, $1,450 on April 28th at 9:12 a.m., and paid the balance the morning of for $1,152.80 after tax. I booked the sheet cake at Merritt's, $62.90, half chocolate, half vanilla blue buttercream. I still have the receipt in the glove box. I even grabbed a Costco fruit tray for the health-conscious relatives we never actually have. Bree offered to help with decorations, which meant she came an hour late carrying a single helium balloon and a ring light. Content, she said, spinning in the doorway. Don't be weird about it. If you're wondering where Leo's mom fits into this. Jess and I split 3 years ago. We're cordial. She was there standing beside me with napkins in her pocket and that anxious co-parent smile. She chipped in too. She bought the paper goods and a Lego set that, spoiler, never got opened. I bought the gift, not because an iPhone for a 7-year-old is normal. It isn't, but because Leo walks to the bus stop at my place every other week and he's been terrified since that stray dog incident. We agreed on a starter model, nothing crazy. iPhone SE 3rd Gen 128 GB for $129 before tax at the Apple Store at Woodland Hills. I did the pickup at 11:06 a.m., tossed the bag in my trunk under a blanket and felt a little proud. I added a cheap case from Five Below with little planets on it because Leo's into space. The family hierarchy hovered over everything the minute we showed up. Bree floated hips first, all charm, while mom ran interference like a PR rep. Nate, mom said, breathless, pinning a crepe streamer to the wall. Bree had a rough week. Don't give her tasks. She didn't say I had a rough month. She didn't say I'd covered Bree's $1,200 car insurance premium in January when her policy lapsed. She didn't say I was still paying $39.99 on my AT&T account because I'd added an extra line 2 years ago for emergencies. She didn't say anything because I'm the quiet helper. I'm the guy who just does it. Here are 2 more quick examples because they matter later. Last Thanksgiving, Bree collects everyone's cash for the shared grocery run. I hand over $120. She texts me a photo from Whole Foods of 4 pies and a single turkey breast and says, "You'll love it." We eat ham from my freezer. In March, Dad forgets his wallet after dinner at Smoke. The check is $184.62. Everyone pauses. I slide my card into the leather booklet and Dad pats my shoulder like I won a prize. So when the present opening started, I was on guard but still hopeful. Leo sat cross-legged on the foam floor, cheeks red from bouncing hair, sweaty under a paper crown. He opened the Lego from his mom and squealed. He opened 2 Hot Wheels set socks from my aunt, a hoodie from my cousin, then the white Apple bag. I pulled it toward him. "This one's from Dad," I said. And Leo's eyes went wide the way kids' eyes do when they think magic is real and also tangible. That's when Bree's son Evan, who's 10 and has a knack for appearing when there's money around, swooped in. He tore the paper, flipped the box, and did the shout. "Mine now," I blinked. Laughs hit like popcorn popping. Even the party host chuckled, then stopped when she saw my face. "Evan," I said evenly. "Buddy, that's for Leo." Bree was filming. Of course she was. Evan's phone died, she said, not moving. "He needs something for school. He's older." "It's from me to Leo," I repeated. Dad waved a plastic fork like a flag. "Don't make a scene. It's just an iPhone." Leo stared at his shoes. The crown slid a little. Jess squeezed my arm. I nodded like a bobblehead, and in a voice I didn't recognize, I said, "Sure." I let Evan hold the box. Evan whooped like he'd scored a touchdown in overtime. Bree ended the video and kissed his cheek. "Say thank you, baby," she said. "Thanks, Uncle Nate," he said, already peeling off the plastic. It got worse quickly. That's how these things go. The bill came to me because the front desk had my card on file. The extra pizzas Bree added for the kids who are still hungry got tacked on. $45 each, 3 of them. 2 extra pitchers of Sprite, A stack of socks nobody used an event fee for a last-minute headcount change Bree had texted them about while I was corralling toddlers. The total read $1,187.36. The teen behind the counter apologized and held the little signature screen like a hostage. "Do you want me to split it?" she asked. I looked across the room. Mom was doing that fixed smile she does. Dad was counting leftover napkins. Bree had Evan in a half hug and was filming again. "It's fine," I said, and added a 15% tip because I'm not cruel. When we got home, Jess helped Leo build the small Lego set. He asked once where his phone was and then didn't again. That almost killed me. At 8:52 p.m., my Apple ID email pinged. "Your @and has been activated on a new device." I started breathing through my nose and read the line name. Line, nickname, Evan. I scrolled down device details on the receipt. Last 4 of the SIM. Activation time 5:12 p.m. I didn't throw my phone. I didn't drive back to Sky Zone with a lawsuit and a lecture. I took a screenshot. 2 actually, because the first one cut off the IMEI and saved them to a folder on my Notes app called Family. At 9:14 p.m., Bri texted me a video of Evan doing an unboxing caption, "You slayed, big bro." I typed, "We need to talk," then I backspaced. I stared at Leo asleep on the couch with his hand on the Lego spaceman and decided I was done asking for basic decency like it was a favor. Step 1 was stupid and small, but it mattered. I went into my AT&T app and looked at the lines. Primary me, secondary spare. I'd added it for Bri during her emergency 2 years ago, swearing it was temporary. She'd slapped the SIM into one phone after another and never paid a cent. I hit suspend line. The app asked if I was sure. I was. At 9:22 p.m., Bri called. "What did you just do?" She said, suspended the spare. "You're being dramatic," she said. "Evan needs that for school. He's in 4th grade, Nate." "Then put it on your plan," I said. She huffed. "Ugh. I knew you were going to get weird about this." "I'm not weird," I said. "I'm done." She hung up. I got the activation failed email 2 minutes later, then another one. "Your line has been reactivated." Apparently she called Dad, who called AT&T like he was the governor, and they undid it because he's the account recovery contact. That one's on me. I set him as backup 2 years ago when I was working overnights and didn't want to miss fraud alerts, so I changed that too. Off Dad onto Jess because she's level-headed. Then I set a new account passcode and wrote it on a sticky note only I could read. Step 2 was the money. My bank app Chase shows those little gray piles where your spending recaps live. I tapped May and scrolled to transfers. There it was. Zelle $800 to Dad on May 3rd for Evan's camp, and $600 cash withdrawal for Bree's car note on May 14th. That's $1,400 in the last month. I added it to the running total on my Notes app. Since January, I'd sent $7,500 to family for temporary emergencies. It stared back at me like a slow drip. I'm not saying I expected interest. I'm saying I never even got a thanks that didn't come with a winky face. Step 3 was the proof. I opened the Apple receipt again, enlarged the device info, and saved it with a normal, boring name. May 19th, 2025 activation. Then I pulled up the Sky Zone balance email, $1,187.36. Then the AT&T recovery contact change at 9:31 p.m. Then a photo I'd snapped earlier without thinking. Leo's crown on the passenger seat, blue buttercream smudge. Timestamp 5:58 p.m. I put them in a single iCloud folder and shared it to myself as a file to print at FedEx in the morning. Not for a courtroom, for a living room. Step 4 was quiet. I set the coffee maker for 6:10 a.m. Wrote, "Don't forget field trip money." $15 on the whiteboard for Leo's backpack and packed his lunch. Ham sandwich, carrot sticks, those weird yogurt tubes he loves. I double knotted his shoes when he mumbled awake at 6:42 a.m. and asked if he could bring his Lego minifig to school. "Pocket only," I said. "No backpacks for astronauts." He smiled. Jess smiled at me over his head like she knew I was holding something heavy in my mouth. "What are you going to do?" she asked when Leo went to brush his teeth. "Stop being a resource," I said. "And show them the receipt." She nodded. "Call me if you need me." I texted Mom family breakfast. Our place, 9:30. Need 10 minutes. She hearted it like this was sweet. At 9:12 a.m., I printed everything at FedEx. 8.5 by 11 sheets, black and white, because color is 69 cents a page. And there's a line between making a point and wasting cash. At 9:30 a.m., they walked in. Dad in his OU hoodie, Mom with a bag of grapes, Bree in sunglasses like the kitchen lights were paparazzi. "This better not be an ambush," she said, perfuming the air with vanilla and attitude. "It's breakfast," I said. Jess poured coffee. Nobody took the grapes. I put the stack of papers on the table and slid the first page to Dad because he thinks everything is a business meeting. "What's this?" He said. "AT&T activation." I said line name. "Evan activation time. 5:12 p.m., which was during Leo's party on the spare line I've been paying for." Dad scanned. He went still in the way he does when the math catches up. That's an email. Bree said emails can be faked. I slid the Sky receipt. $1,187.36 posted at 6:05 p.m. I paid for the party. I'm glad I did. I'm not mad about that part, but I'm not paying for your line anymore. Mom sighed. Nate, honey. I held up a hand. Come slow. There's more. I slid the Zelle summary. $7,500 total since January. Dates, amounts, notes. Then the bank alert screenshot from the night before. Your daily transfer limit is approaching. It's a dumb alert, but it looks official. Bree rolled her eyes. Okay, so you helped and we love you for that. You love my card, I said. She tilted her head, smile thin. Don't be mean. I looked at Dad. You told me not to make a scene. I didn't. I'm making a boundary. He folded his arms. What boundary? Spare line is off as of now, I said. No more transfers, no more being the card on file for group dinners. If I'm invited, I'll pay for me and Leo. That's it. Mom blinked. You're overreacting, and the phone. Bree said. We already set it up. Evan's contacts are in. He has school apps. You can't just... She stopped because I slid the last page across the table. A printout of my car insurance proof of coverage listing the 2018 Hyundai Elantra. VIN ending titled in my name, Bree's car. I bought it at CarMax in 2022 when her credit was wrecked and put the title in my name so she could get to work. She promised $250 a month. I got $250 in February, then zero. Nate, Mom said slowly. What is this? I set my keys on the table. The second fob, the Atlantis blue one, was the one I twirled last night. I'm not taking your car, I said. I'm taking my car back until we have a written plan. Insurance is in my name. Registration is in my name. If it's staying at your place, you'll pay the insurance by the 30th. It's $126.18 a month. I need the last 3 months and June's in advance. Bree's mouth opened and closed like a goldfish on a countertop. That's not fair, she said. It's not a punishment, I said. It's a line. Dad sat back like he'd been hit with a taser. Too embarrassing, but survivable. You're making your sister's life difficult. He said, she made my son's birthday difficult. I said, and I didn't make a scene. I'm making a plan. If this were a movie, someone would stand up and clap. That's not what happened. Real life is messier and quieter. It's a lot of blinking and a few half sentences and one person who decides to leave a room. Bree went for outrage first. You can't just hold my transportation hostage, she said. Palm flat on my table like she owned the yoke. It's my transportation, I said. You've been driving it. I need it for Evan, she said. School pickup practice life. So pay the insurance and sign a repayment plan. I said, sliding a simple page I typed up and printed at 8:05 a.m. It wasn't legalese. It was 3 lines. $126.18 per month insurance to me on the 1st. $200 per month toward the Elantra principal. Due the 15th. Zelle or cash. No friends and family. If payment is late by 10 days, the car stays parked with me until the next month is covered. Date spots for signatures. That's it. She laughed like I'd asked her to mortgage a moon. Dad took the paper. He read it slow. It's reasonable, he said, surprising me and Mom at the same time. Mom shot him a look. Dan, she said, warning in her tone. He lifted his shoulder. He's got the title. It took the oxygen out of the kitchen. Mom doesn't like when logic happens and it's not hers. Bree pivoted to guilt. Evan's going to be devastated, she said softer, a tremble hitching at the end. You're punishing a child? I'm not punishing anyone, I said. I'm just not paying for your decisions anymore. She tried a new angle. I could report the phone stolen. She said AT&T will. It's on my account, I said. They'll talk to me. She huffed and looked to Mom for backup. Mom did the soft voice thing. Nate, sweetie, you know your sister's had a hard year. Rick left. The rent went up. She's doing her best. I know, I said. And I help a lot. That's why I brought the numbers so we could see it. You don't have to be petty with receipts, she said. It's not petty to tell the truth. Jess said quiet until then, sliding a mug toward Mom like a peace offering. Leo handled yesterday better than any adult here. He deserves the gift his dad bought him. Bree scoffed. Oh, spare me the Saint Co-Parent Act. Jess's eyebrows twitched. Then she said calmly, it's not an act. I flipped the stack back to the first page and tapped the activation email. This is the only thing I care about today, I said. Return the phone or pay me back in full by Friday. I'll go to AT&T today at lunch and move that spare line off my plan no matter what. The car stays with me until the insurance is current. What if I don't sign? Bree said. Then the keys stay here, I said, and pointed at the hook by the door where my kid's backpack hangs. The Elantra fob sat beneath it, ordinary and heavy. The air got tinny. Bree did a little chin lift she does when she's about to lie, and I was ready for it. I expected some story about how she had planned to pay me back, how I'd misunderstood how Evan's teacher requires iPhones now. Instead, she went small. Fine, she said. I'll just use Uber. Use Uber, I said. Save your receipts. We'll add them to the budget. Mom stood. Enough, she said. Nate, you're punishing your family for a toy. That's when I pushed the last line across the table. Not a paper, a sentence. Yesterday at 4:37, Leo looked at the floor and pretended not to cry. I said it wasn't a toy. It was a moment. He learned that other people can grab his thing and the grown-ups will laugh. I can't let him learn that. Silence. Even the fridge shut up for a second. Bree's face flickered. Not remorse, calculation. Then she said the thing that popped whatever thread I had left. You could have just told me you wanted it back, she said. You don't have to be dramatic. God. I exhaled through my nose. Keys, I said, and held my palm out. She didn't move. Dad reached into his hoodie pocket and set the keys on the table himself like he was tired. Sign the paper, Bree, he said. Or start walking. She stared at him. That was the flip, weirdly. Not my emails, not my careful numbers. Dad saying out loud which way the wind was going. She looked at me. She looked at the paper. Then she scribbled her name. Not because she agreed, but because she wanted the show over. Fine, she said. You win. I didn't win, I said. I just stopped playing. It didn't end with fireworks. It ended with logistics. At 11:05 a.m., I stood at the AT&T on 41st. The guy in the blue shirt asked how my day was. Boundary day, I said. He nodded like he'd heard that before. He moved the spare line off my account and onto a prepaid SIM sitting in his drawer. He handed me a small white envelope and a printed summary that read, Account change completed. 11:22 a.m. reference, Maurer A5942. I tucked it into my folder. At 12:08 p.m., I called Apple support because Bree had tried to report the iPhone lost or stolen and lock it remotely. The rep asked for proof. I emailed the activation email and the point of sale receipt from 11:06 a.m. the day before the order number. They took the serial off lost mode. I kept my voice calm. I kept the rep on speaker so Jess could hear and remind me not to apologize for existing. At 1:40 p.m., I parked the Elantra in my spot behind our building, printed a little sheet that said, Not in use. Do not tow, and slipped it onto the dash. I took a photo because Tulsa tow guys can be proactive. Proactive. At 3:03 p.m., a Zelle ping hit my phone from Bree. $126.18. Memo insurance. 10 minutes later, another ping from Dad. $300 memo for Evans Camp installment. I didn't respond. I added the amounts to my note. At 4:10 p.m., Leo tumbled out of the bus with a shoebox diorama of a space base. He bounced when he saw the small white box on the kitchen island. You got it back, I did, I said. We're going to set it up together and talk about rules. Can I call Grandma? He asked. In a minute, I said. First we pick a ringtone. He picked chimes because he said it sounded like a robot being polite. At 5:22 p.m., Bri texted. I need the car for Evans practice, she wrote. I sent a photo of the signed plan and the $126.18 receipt. When June is received, you can pick it up. No, she typed. I need it tonight. I didn't reply. She called Jess, who didn't answer. She called Dad, who texted me a shrug emoji. Then she sent a voice note that started with, Wow, Nate, and ended with, You're really doing this. I saved it to my family folder and turned on Do Not Disturb. At 7 p.m., Mom called. I let it ring out. She texted instead, You're taking this too far. I typed, I'm not available for this conversation, and set the phone down. At 8:16 p.m., I sat on the couch with Leo tucked into my side. We chose a blue silicone case on Amazon together, $12.99 Sunday delivery, and I put his school numbers into favorites. He called Jess from across the room and said, Mom, it sounds like the future. She cried, then laughed and said, It does. Here's the practical fallout, because people always ask what happens next. The car stayed with me for 8 days. On day 9, Bri dropped $200 at my door with a folded apology that wasn't really an apology. I handed her the keys and took a photo of the odometer. We're doing that odometer photo on the 1st every month now. She hates it. I don't care. The spare line is gone. AT&T now has 2 contacts on the account, me and Jess. Dad texted LOL and hasn't mentioned it again. The iPhone stays at my house weeks only. At Jess's weeks, Leo uses her old Android with the kid profile. He's fine. He's 7. He wants snacks and bedtime stories more than apps. Money. I made a spreadsheet. Simple, not punitive. I wrote down every dollar from January through now and shared it with Dad and Mom not to shame. To end the word help as a fog. On June 30th at 10:02 a.m., Dad sent me $600 with a note. We've been unfair. I took a breath I didn't know I'd been holding for a decade. The bigger thing is quieter. The family group chat has been normal. Fewer demands, more photos of my niece's art projects. Fewer Nate can you messages at 11 p.m. The AT&T alerts are just mine now. A little ping when Leo calls me from Jess's to say goodnight and tell me which planet he learned about. It's Saturn. He likes the rings. Do Bri and I hang out? Not really. We exchange logistics. If she misses a payment, the Elantra stays parked. She's missed once. The car sat 3 days. She was angry. I was at peace. 2 weekends after the party, we had Dad's birthday. Backyard grill folding chairs. I brought ice. I didn't bring my card. When the cake came out, Evan sidled up to Leo and said, "Hey, can I hold your phone?" Leo looked at me. I shrugged. "Your call." He smiled and said, "You can look at it." Then he added, "But not mine now." Evan laughed. A real laugh, not the whipped up kind. He handed it back without a scene. Kids adapt if adults stop twisting the world for them. Mom tried once more, of course. She pulled me aside by the hydrangeas and said, "You embarrassed your sister." "I stopped subsidizing your daughter," I said. "Those are different." She exhaled like I'd said a bad word. I didn't argue. I took a photo of Dad with the grandkids and sent it to the group chat and left the party early because Leo was sticky and happy and tired. Back home, I put the signed plan in a cheap Walgreens folder labeled car. The AT&T passcode lives on a piece of paper in my lockbox with the lease and the passports. The Discover card that was on file at 3 places, Sky Zone, the bounce place, and Smoke, is replaced with a new one that nobody has. I didn't announce it, I just did it. My moral isn't poetic. It's practical. I'm not a resource. I'm a person with a kid and a budget and a spine. I didn't scream, I didn't beg. I just showed the receipt, set the terms, and moved the keys to my hook. And when people told me not to make a scene, I learned the small trick I should have known all along.